Hey guys, how's it going? This is Jeff, the Axie Infinity team. I'm the community lead. I'm actually joined today by Chuck Fresco, as well as our mod, Arctic. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about our breeding system, as well as a few recent developments that I think are pretty exciting and positive for Axie Infinity. So Arctic, do you want to, kind of explain or go into some of the some of the details and like the gene system? You were one of the best, breeders during the beta. So, what are your insights?
Yeah, sure. It seems like there's, of course, the dominant genes on your Axie that are the ones that are shown, and then there's two recessives, which that matches what I experienced in beta, and I believe one of the community members found in the code that there are two recessives, and these recessives can somehow be purified or controlled through repeatedly breeding the same gene over and over again. You can kind of pure breed your Axie, and that's one of the ways you can actually make a purebred Axie. It's the easiest way. Just keep mashing the dominant, like say you want to go for a purebred plant, just keep breeding the most plant parts you can together with overlap, and that's one of the strategies for an Axie, to get an Axie that's purebred.
Oh, okay, I see. So you can try and throw as many plant parts at an Axie, those parts into the bloodline, and even if they're not showing as the dominant gene, over time you'll just stack some recessives and you can purebred.
Yeah, I believe that's the best way right now, since we don't actually works or what recessive our Axie has. We just know that they are there.
Yeah, right now, just to talk a little bit about the fees. So right now the breeding fee is actually 0.002 Ether, which is significantly lower than some of the other breeding type blockchain games out there. We're also working on dropping that price soon. We don't believe that having a high breeding fee, I think would be a potential barrier to entry, and we want people to really feel like they own their Axies. We don't want to charge them unnecessarily high fees just to be able to play with their own asset or toy. So also in addition to that 0.02 Ether fee, there's also a breeding fee. So initially the first breed, so if your Axie is a virgin, that breed will cost 300 experience. However, each time that you breed an Axie, the experience price will increase. So I think it'll be something around 300 for the first, and then 450, and then maybe 700. And I think it will increase not linearly, but not purely exponentially as well. In between. Arctic, do you want to, or either Arctic or Chuck, maybe do you want to talk about, the petites or the egg system?
Sure. So after breeding your two Axies, paying the XP fee, you'll get an egg within, well, depending on Ethereum speed and stuff, 20 minutes probably max. And that Axie is an egg for 1 day. After 1 day, it transitions to the larva stage, and the larva stage lasts for 2 days. Then to upgrade it to a petite or morph to a petite, it requires one transaction. And after that, you can actually see your Axie's class and parts. And then the petite stage is 2 days. After that 2 days, you can morph again. That requires a transaction, and you have an adult Axie that is born with 400 XP, and you can breed that once right now, and then again once battles come out.
Okay, that makes sense. So what have you seen kind of on the market? I feel like you have a pretty good feel for it. So what have people been breeding? What types of combinations have they been going through?
I think right now a lot of people are trying for the purebreds because you can unlock the secret classes with the purebreds. So it's just a lot of trial and error for purebreds. Right now, after only one generation, it's pretty much a gamble since the recessives are so random. But we have had a couple people hit 6 out of 6 on the first try. I believe a beast was hit and an aquatic was hit.
Wow.
So they still need partners.
Really rare We had one aquatic. I believe Freak.
Yep.
Shout out to Freak hit that.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. So for purebreds, there's only one on the market at 125.
Oh, what the heck?
That's a little expensive there.
It's a mystic one too. What the?
It's interesting that both of the purebred beasts have the Sakura Cottontail mystic.
Yeah, and Ronin actually.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And Goda.
It is interesting. I think we should touch on the Japanese.
The Japanese ones?
Yeah. I think you can sort by region in the encyclopedia. Check
Yeah,
those
those
out.
came out like last week, right? The
Yep.
new ones?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I am a huge fan of this release. It kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And basically it was announced that certain Axies can now be born with Japanese body parts.
Mm.
Mhm.
Encyclopedia. I tried to look at them on the market, but there's so few of them.
Even now? Wow.
Yeah, there's only 2 on the market, I think. Well, I bred out 3 actually, and I'm holding all 3.
What the heck?
That's my bug right there.
No way.
Yeah.
What part does it have that's new? I forget.
It has the Yorishiro horn, which is the replacement of Beach.
Oh, okay. And how do you get these again? You just need to switch your... When you breed, you need to switch to the Japanese language, right?
Yep, just when you put through your breeding transition, if your language is in Japanese, you'll have a chance to roll the Japanese parts, as long as, I think there's, maybe 6 or 7 Japanese parts right now, and there's a planned 18, I believe, for the Japanese region.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Some of these look really cool, man. Like so this one has both the yen eyes and the
Mhm.
Japanese version of the koi tail.
I like that one a lot.
What
That's
is
my reptile right there, too, below.
What?
It's so ugly, though.
I'm happy that this has the yen eyes. Otherwise, let's see what the parents are. It's like not.
I was actually lucky to get the reptile there,
Wow.
but no reptile parts.
And this is an ugly reptile.
Runner up for ugliest Axie
Yeah.
of reptile.
Okay.
One thing I really like about this game is really the idea that it gives you different avenues to work with your breeding. Like Arctic just talked about, one of the main aspects is people are going to try to breed out the secret classes, but they require pure breeds. So some group will be focusing mostly on trying to unlock these classes and then maybe using those Axies as their battle Axies from now on.
Mhm.
While other groups, more like me, will mostly focus on just finding the best combination of traits to battle, because the better you become at battling, the more experience you'll get, and ultimately I feel like experience will be one of the strongest factors in the game. So other people will just focus primarily on making like your custom fighter, something that's just very unique to what you want to do. And I think that's like the part that just gets me completely like all in for this battle system is I want to make an Axie that just embodies the way I play like a battle game. So I think that's what I'm going to be aiming for, just to make my own specific battler. There's moves that I really love, like Snail Shell. Like I want all my Axies to have Snail Shell now. If I can breed them out to have that, that's what I want to do for all of them. Just because it's such a strong move in my opinion, and it looks kind of cool for me too. I just love that. So I think that aspect of the game really highlights like how the developers are kind of thinking like, well, we want to make different avenues, so not everyone just has to focus on one area. They can focus on multiple areas. And I think there's also mini games that are being like hinted at for the future. So even that will open up another avenue. So if you're not a battler, if you're not a pure breeder, then you can actually go to that path. And I think as more things come out, in general, the population will be valuable, is what I'm seeing for the future. Is that not every Axie will have its own value, because each one is just good for something new or something different. It's something that I've been noticing about this game. While I notice maybe in other games, stuff just starts getting devalued a little bit over time, but this one, I kind of see me wanting to keep a lot of my Axies just to see what comes in the future.
Yeah, every Axie has the potential to hit a certain niche that it may be the best at, and that's definitely value. Everyone has some sort of utility on some level,
Yeah.
which is really important.
I'm also really excited for the PvE battle system, right? For
Yes.
that, there might be certain bosses where, oh, you have the perfect Axie that kind of counters all of that boss's abilities, right?
Oh, what?
Mhm.
So I think that's going to be super interesting. Also, terrariums will add a whole new dynamic. Like, what if you have an Axie that just is super buffable in terrarium modes as well, right? Like, it just, for some reason, really kind of, jives well with whatever terrarium setup you have. That could also be, like, that could also make an Axie that might be on the floor today for something worth potentially a lot more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I've been getting really excited about the idea of maybe bosses coming into the game, like, later on. Like, I think that's what I want to do, is fight against these challenge stuff and try to feed them with, like, maybe like Jihoz said, an Axie that everyone laughs at is like, oh, that's a terrible Axie. What if that's the only one that can actually counter that boss or whatever? What if it's the only one that has that ability, the combination of parts to stop it more?
And yeah, I think there is a buzz generating around this game that is very exciting. So I was just at the Blockchain Gaming Conference in San Francisco. I'm actually still in San Francisco.
What?
And,
oh, man.
Yeah, and I think everyone at the conference, or not everyone, well, yeah, so many people at the conference, when I showed them Axie Infinity, there's just something primally kind of, I think, attracting or magnetic about this game. I think people have been longing for a token that can basically be improved through time and effort and strategy. And I think that's, what we potentially have here, right? A lot of it, I hope, I'm really excited for the battle system, and I think there's a lot to prove, and there's high expectations. But I think those expectations are only there because people are really excited, and so far the dev team has really delivered on, I think, everything that they promised, and I think I'm really excited to see what happens in the next month or so.
Yeah, I was seeing like Twitter posts come out from those conferences. I think there was one in New York. I think Psych Out was one in Europe or something like that. I forget which location exactly. And then there was one in San Francisco. So it's like just the crypto world is like getting ready for these games. I feel like it's going to become something new for everyone to really get into. And I think
it's a whole new genre of games.
For sure. And it's kind of cool to be in on it early, because usually you're like way behind everyone, So
yeah.
But I think one of the things that I forgot if Jihoz mentioned it, there was a competition in the San Francisco one that I saw on Twitter, and apparently Axie Infinity won like an award on that competition. It was like I believe different starting companies were just showcasing their projects, and out of all of them, Axie Infinity won. So I think that's really incredible, actually. Like, it was not even a small prize. It was pretty good, sizable prize for that. And it just helps me see like how many people are interested in what's coming up for this project. And I can't imagine what's gonna happen next. It just, like, I've just been saving all my Axies pretty much just to see the next step.
Yeah, people are really excited. Man, we won the pitch competition. I think a lot of people were pretty excited and impressed by our game. I think we are in some ways really ahead of a lot of the other kind of decentralized games in the space. And I think what we want to do now is to keep our foot on the gas and to continue improving our product, make sure that battling really lives up to the expectations of the community. And I think if those things happen, we should expect some amazing events over the next couple of months. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and until next time, it has been a pleasure, and see you in Discord.